Hello everybody. Hey, in this video we're going to talk about how do you adjust when your adult parent remarries. Think about a family union that was put together and they've been together for a long time, and then as an adult all of a sudden things happen. They either get separated, they get divorced, or someone passes away. How do you embrace as children, okay, whether it's young children or older children? What happens? How do you invite and embrace a new person into the family? So in this video, I'm going to talk about some different tips and some ways and share some personal experiences on how I had to deal with, okay, being remarried. And then also how was that for my children as well. And my desire is that some of these strategies help you as you're moving forward. Just know this, when an adult remarries, it can be very strange for everybody. You know, there could be all different type of perspectives and perceptions and places of just a point of reference that everybody has to just learn and come to know, all brand new. And so much of history, so much emotion could have been wrapped up into the former person, the person that was before, the other parent, that it can be very difficult. But here's some tips and here's some things that I realized. You know, being a person who was married for 12 years, and then all of a sudden I had 4 children by that time, and they were all in the ages of about 13, 11, and 9. And it became very difficult at those times. It became difficult to the fact that as they got older, now all of a sudden dad is no longer with mom. And then now, because of divorce, but now you got a new young lady in the picture, and the friction. You know, what about the disloyalty that a child may feel that if they embraced another person, another female woman, does that mean that all of a sudden they don't love their mom or that they're being disloyal? And how about for a father who feels like, hey, I'm just trying to be loved at this stage in my life, and everything, I couldn't control everything, but the fact of the matter is I still love you, I still love your mom, I still love the person that I'm with now, and I just want to make sure that we can be as happy as we can. It can be a very stressful time for all. And so I'm going to give you guys some tips and stuff in this section as we go through. So here's one of the most important things to do to how we can adapt and adjust when an adult parent remarries. Number one is you got to minimize the negativity. Minimize the negativity by challenging the misconceptions. Think about it. What are the motives that you have? From a child standpoint, what is the motives that you have, okay, towards that other parent? See, sometimes we can have in our heart and our mind so much that it's only supposed to be one way. You see, one of the most permanent things in life is change. And things always change. Although we don't always agree with that change, we always got to deal with the change. And so when you find yourself in a new situation and you have an adult parent that all of a sudden got remarried, okay, and now all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't know how to embrace this person, it's very easy to become negative. And so one of the first things you want to do is you want to minimize the negativity that you face. You want to check your motives. What is your motives from a child standpoint? What is your motives towards the other person? Are you really trying to get them to be separated? Or are you basically looking at the fact that, hey, does this person make my father or my mother happy? And therefore, if it's making them happy, it's going to make me happy. Another thing as a child that you want to do is you want to show respect for the relationship, even if you don't agree with it. Okay? You see, I'm speaking here to the children, whether you're young, okay, whether you're a teenager, or even if you're an adult. Okay? You want to basically show respect for the relationship, even if you don't agree with it. You see, I'm sure in your life, every decision you made, okay, somebody always didn't agree with it. But you can always show respect for the relationship, even if you don't agree with it. Do your best to stay away from negativity. Do your best to stay away from gossip. Do your best to avoid putting negative words on that person. Because at the end of the day, that person is in your parents' life for a reason. You may not agree with it, but you have to just deal with it. Refrain from comparing. That's one of the biggest things that we see that set people back. Because you got to think about it. It's a natural thing. You only know one person. You only know that parent that brought you into this world. But now you're seeing that there's going to be another adult person in my life. And now I might have to listen to them. They may have to tell me what to do, or they may have to give me instructions. And I don't really want anybody in this space. So understanding this, that it's very easy to start comparing. Well, my mom did this. My dad did this. Well, at my house, we don't do this. And so as a child, if you want to get over that, you want to cope with it, do your best to refrain from comparing, okay? And so again, remember that opening up yourself for, if you compare, you're basically opening up yourself to be disappointed, because no two people are alike. No two people are alike. And so, avoid comparing any time you get. The next thing is direct attention to your own life. Think about it. Now that your father or your mother is remarried, okay, well, now you can pay some attention to yourself. Now you can do some things on yourself. You may have been so used to just take care of your parent, so used to taking care of, the other person, okay, your mom or your dad. But now that they have somebody in their life, now that can actually ease the burden a little bit. Now you can see them happy. See, I know at the end of the day, all you do is you want your mom and dad to be happy. I know you just want them to be happy. And here's an opportunity. You never know how love comes. But you know what? Because love can come in the strangest different ways, in the strangest different shapes, color, shape, and sizes. But if love is love, then what you got to do with it? Sound like one little Tina Turner version, right? Except I hacked that one up. The next thing, I feel like you got to strive for acceptance, okay? If you're finding your parents, as you're an adult, you're finding your parents in a relationship, strive for acceptance. So get closure about your parents' relationship. Or come to realize, what? That's over. That's a chapter of their life, and it's over. You see, them being successful has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the decisions that they make. But you being able to accept their happiness, accept the fact that they're moving to the next chapter, has everything to do with you. And so again, get closure on their relationship. Allow yourself plenty of time to adjust. It may be easy for some to get over it and to basically move forward and just look at it and say, wait a minute, if this making my mom or dad happy, then I'm happy. But for some, it could be hard. It could be hard because you feel like, man, you can feel like you're being disloyal because you've only come to know something for so long. And all of a sudden now you want somebody, basically seems like somebody wants you to accept this. Well, if that's you, give yourself some time to adjust. The next thing is express your joy that your parent found love. What is this all about anyway? Is this about them being happy? Are you truly happy that they're happy? If so, express your joy about the fact that they found love. Let them know. Let them know that, hey, I've set my feelings to the side and I'm willing to be happy because you're happy. See, that takes a bigger person. That takes an adult to be able to do that. That takes a mature person. And I guarantee that your father or your mother, whoever's in this new marriage, is so happy that you're able to come to that point. Make an effort to build a relationship with the other person. See, this is a personal thing now. So you can walk around, you got two choices. One, you can begin to accept it, or you can two, you can always continue to reject it. But I think by making an effort to build a relationship has everything to do with, yeah, this is an adult person. This is a new person. How about you get to know them? There's something about them that your mom or your dad likes. So why don't you get to know them? Why don't you get to know them? It's okay for you not to agree with it, to accept the relationship. But how about you get to know them? Because when you get to know a person, you're not just walking around with the misconceived ideals, and you're not walking around with just stereotypes. You're actually getting to know. One of the greatest things that I, when I went through my relationship with my ex-wife and with my children, and I actually had, began to try to date or something beyond that. And I had the person around my wife and, around my children. And for them to get used to them, I remember some of the resentment. I remember some of the resistance. I remember they just wanted time with me and they didn't want time with anybody else. So in that situation, they needed more time to themselves. Okay, they needed some more time. They needed more time to adjust to the fact that, yes, it's over. And even though it's over, now it's a new situation, and daddy has to move on. And so when I wind up getting remarried, to my wife now, I learned from those experiences to basically be able to set up the situation where, number one, that they knew that they're always going to be daddy's girls. And then daddy is always going to respect them and love them, and daddy's always going to respect my wife and, and love her. And when it came to their mom, daddy was always going to respect their mom too. You see, I think a lot of times, one of the things that I've experienced is that I think that there's a fear or there's there's kind of just a perspective or thought process that when there's a new person that comes in, that you're not going to treat the other person, their mother, their father, with the same type of dignity or respect, and that that's going to say something about them. But I think that as a parent who does remarry, as I remarried, the key is, and the key was, to basically set the ground rules. Let them know, hey, here's what you can expect out of me. I'm going to love you forever. And I love your mom, okay? And I'm grateful for the time that we've had. But as most things, and a lot of things, some things come to an end. And while the relationship from a marital standpoint came to an end, just know that my love and my appreciation for her, doesn't change. And I'm able to love her, while moving forward. And letting them know that, listen, I won't dishonor your mom. I won't put negativity on your mom, no matter how I feel or this, that, and the other. And I'm going to treat you with the dignity as an extension of her. And I'm going to treat her with dignity as an extension of you. And so I think when you do that and you share with them, and as I try to do with my children, let them know, hey, daddy moved on, and all daddy wants to do is live his life on purpose, and I want to be happy. And this person here is making me happy. This person here is adding to my happiness. And I think if you approach it in that way, by being transparent, being open, more times than not, the kids are willing to embrace the fact that you respect them enough to bring your heart to them. You respect them enough to go fishing for their feelings, which means that you're basically trying to figure out how they may feel about it, and you're basically trying to cut off at the intersection the different thoughts or the fears or the doubts or uncertainties that they may have. And you're setting a parameter for them, of an expectation for them. I think when you do that, it helps the children. And so understanding this, their relationship with their mother or their father is their relationship with their mother or father. But they have to now begin to try to build a new relationship with the new person. And that comes, and there's no blueprint exactly for that. That comes based off everybody's basically level of acceptance of the speed in which they're able to go. But I think it's something that needs to happen. And so as you continue to go, I think here's what makes it stronger. Here's what brings in more play. Here's what allows you to become a new family. Is to basically become a family. Think as a family now. After you get over the initial, from a child standpoint, after you get over the initial thoughts and fears and understanding, now it's time to become a family. And you can become a family by spending more time together. And so basically host gatherings, okay, so that everybody can get acquaintance. I think one of the things that I did with my family is, several years ago, is my daughter had a track meet. And at the track meet was, her and of course her mom and my other daughters and their brother. And I took up my wife and daughter to the track meet, so that way we all can come together. So that way we can all spend time together, and we can all basically say that, yes, we are a collective growing family. And although that there was an intimate relationship between the parents, we're able to be here supportive to support the children. At the end of the day, the kids just want to know that, listen, that things won't change, that they'll continue to be loved, and that there's respect and love going around for everybody. And I think that once you're able, by hosting gatherings, by getting together, by making sure everybody get a chance to meet and get on the same page, or at least understand or learn or see, I think that goes a long way with helping allow people to move forward. Another thing when it comes to maintaining and being a family, okay, from a child standpoint, I think it's important, and from a parent, to make some one-on-one time. It's one thing when a new person comes into the life of a parent, then all of a sudden from a child standpoint, they're thinking, man, I lost my mom or I lost my dad, and I won't be able to spend any time because this person now is trying to take up the time. Well, here's what you do to solve that. You be intentional with the time. You schedule times for lunch. You schedule times to go to a movie. You spend some alone time. Not just the family time with the new family, but with the individual. So that way they say, I got something to look forward to that's just mine, that I don't have to share. And I think if more families and more parents do that, then I think ultimately it allows the kids to open up. It allows the kids to express their hearts and their feelings and concerns, but it also lets the kids know that there's a piece of my heart that this person is going to be able to take care of, and they can take care of it when we spend time by ourselves. And so again, also being open and honest with your parent about sensitive topics. Kids or any adult, child, just be open about it. What are your concerns? Get them out there. Because again, nobody can read your mind. But as long as you're holding on to them and you're just acting based off of the conversation you're having in your head, nobody can be better and nobody gets better. But being open and honest, okay, about these sensitive topics, instead of harboring resentment, okay, have a conversation. Let them know, hey, listen, I really never expected this, and this is not what I would have done, okay, but because you guys are happy, that makes me happy. If you're able to get to that point as a person, or as a child, then I think you're in an awesome and wonderful, wonderful place. And so listen, as I said before, it's never easy when you go through these sensitive moments and tough moments, but it's always worth it because you work it. It will work when you work it. I say today, I'm grateful that I can look back on my life and I'm look back at my family, and I think that there's a mutual level of respect for everybody involved. And it's not because I tried to force it down anybody's throat. It's because I understood at the end of the day that people need time, people need patience, people need respect, they need honor, and they need compassion, and they need empathy. The children need to understand, wait a minute, let me look and see, how does my parent feel about this? Is this what they want, they desire? And now how can I be happy because they're happy? From the parent standpoint, they got to realize that, wait a minute, if I'm the parent, okay, that did not get remarried, then I got to make sure that I don't put any negativity on that other person, okay, on that person's, on the children's father or mother. That I got to show the maturity that I can be happy, successfully divorced, or I can be happy after a certain chapter of my life. And so listen, these sessions that we're doing, none of them sometimes are easy, but guess what? What makes them work is when you work. When you start with yourself and you continue to walk from there. So listen, you guys, I'm Donovan Darius, former 10-year NFL player, okay, professional life strategist, professional speaker, as well as coach and trainer. And my desire, my hope for you is that you receive something out of today's message, that you find a strategy for you, a tip for you, something that you can do, something that you can apply that's going to help you live your life to the fullness. And so remember, if you like these videos, don't forget to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share, okay, and share them with other people. Listen, until the next video, until the next time, you guys God bless. Love you guys to life eternal, and be blessed. Peace out.